Ебать ты косой, даже в тиммейт, блять, попасть не может.
What the fuck?
Блин, я по тебе попался.
Fuck off, no way.
Já dacă punea pe Misfit, dacă câștiga. Câțiva făceau mai
Care
treabă.
avea șanse mai mari să câștige?
A?
Care avea șanse mai mari să câștige?
A fost 50.
Hai că face push cu shotgun-ul. Dă-i.
Ну и чё?
Lol.
Gilly, who is it? One knock, come on, it's yours.
Dead.
Yeah!
It's her 3K.
Б, наверное, еще не нужно. Это Б.
Oh shit.
Knock. Main.
Fuck off.
But am după mașină. Oh my god, cine a trus aia? 1, al doilea unde e?
У него не читы, у него автоход кей. Это штука, которая за тебя пробел нажимает автоматически. Îi văd, trag în tine, trag în tine.
Noctat headshot AVM. Alvă pe ăla.
Knocked out.
Что он прицел по голову, интересно, да? Как спалили.
Middle. 3B, 1 mid. Fuck. 1 low HP, it's B, it's B.
А, это подрубил, по-моему.
Nice, blue, again. AWP. Low HP. Nice, drop.
Mașină! În spatele meu! What the fuck? Au mașină în spatele meu!
Da.
Băi, unde? Nu, trebuie să plec. Vin la tine! Oh my god. Vezi că...
Let's roll.
we dropping, boys?
B, you
Bo.
middle OP. Go, 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 blue fast. Kill him! Nice.
Bot again. Okay. Kill him.
Блять, сука, последний
Эй.
раунд вообще не летит. Охуенно. С буста флешка. С буста флешка. Зеленый сверху. Я понял. Найс.
Давай, давай.
Ласт А.
Давай, давай, сука, давай, пидор. А?
Планта.
О,
God.
у него один фраг за последние, наверное, 5 матчей, вот этих вот раундов. Что не так? Ты разрешил сыграть, да? Алёша. По-моему, он ебаный даун, который просто подрубает. Добей его, сэр. Помнишь его почти?
The fuck up.
Бля, смотри, вот сейчас они.
Надо мне информации. Какие раз да информации, знаешь?
Хуеплет.
Фартики. Фарт? I've got like 19.
Найс, блять.
Смотри, так смело пошел шарашить, откуда ты знал?
Two middle.
The most damage you can inflict is 558, provided the victim isn't wearing armor. The P90 at this range does 99, and then an AWP headshot in the face does 459. I tested from a number of angles, as well as above, below, and inside him, and the result was the same, 558. With armor, you have to adopt a different strategy. The AUG from this range inflicts 99, and a point-blank AWP only does 448, making the maximum damage 547. But that's not the most damage that can be done to somebody. If you fall off a large distance, you can sustain more. Vertigo will inflict 4,999, but that's nothing compared to stepping on Lego, which will inflict upwards of 2 billion. Ouch.
Fuck.
Alo? Unde a plecat Alex?
L-am enervat eu și a plecat.
De ce l-ai enervat?
Zgomotele. Joci un comp?
Mă duc cu petardă de Andrei.
Unde?
Joc Fortnite. Aaaa.
Вот тупарь, нахуй.
Bine, pa.
Ну,
Babotul meu preferat.
You want to create a stunning website? I've already done it with Wix. Let me show you how it's done.
Thank you for 666,000 subscribers, which, as everybody knows,
Блять, ВХ, сука, вот по-моему.
машина Мита, ВП Калаш. Оба лол. Хорош. Конец.
О, третью дали, ура, блять, неужели?
Давай, сука, давай.
knows, is famous for being 2/3 of the way to 1 million. I don't think there's another reason. Nope, can't think of one. To celebrate, here are 4 what-if moments from the recent Boston Major. 3 of these happen to involve Cloud9, but I only cover things that you've asked me to do, so that's on you. The first takes place in the semi-finals between SK and Cloud9. It's the 3rd round and Phelps rushes B without armour. Cloud9 launched 2 grenades at him, but he doesn't take a single point of damage. What gives? The first should have done about 50 points of damage, but went off just around this corner and thus he was completely fine. This is a well-known and well-documented issue with the grenades, which are regularly blocked by small things like steps and pillars, when otherwise they shouldn't be. Now it seems like a simple issue, but remember that if you let damage bend around corners, then you run the risk of it going too far the other way, where it ends up hurting players who should have been totally fine. Something does need to be done about instances like this though. The second grenade is more concerning, as there doesn't seem to be anything in the way. This would have done about 20 points of damage had it actually worked. Let's look at the map file for suspects. My first thought was this wall decoration. Some props in Source, when rotated at an odd angle, cover a lot more area than they first appeared to. When highlighted, you can see this prop's outline extends far out from the wall. But then, if this was a problem, then we'd be getting glitched on it when running past. Plus this prop has collisions disabled anyway. Let's rule this out. The wireframe netting here is the collision model for the grassy stuff lining the corner. This stuff has collisions disabled, and I don't think interferes with this problem grenade, but deserves mentioning anyway, plus an award for the most approximate hitbox model I've ever seen. And lastly, the floor couples, which don't have collisions disabled. But they don't extend above their height on the floor, so this would only have mattered had the grenade exploded at ground level. Now it didn't look like it did in the replay, but maybe the grenade's position was misrepresented, hence the explosion decal appearing closer to the wall than the grenade model may have suggested. I don't know, and I don't really know how to investigate this. Over to you, Valve. Please fix. But anyway, say these two grenades had worked as intended. Would it have changed the outcome of the round? Well, not if he had remained in Banana. I'm honestly surprised he didn't hear or see the CTs here, who utterly wrecked him. Unless his reduced health encouraged him to fall back to mid, I think it's safe to say that Phelps was doomed in this round, even if he was impervious to explosions. Burrito asked me to investigate FaZe versus Mousesports, and finally something that doesn't cover Cloud9. This was one of the few times that Nuke was shown in the major. Oscar, armed with an AWP, decides to rush first into bombsite A, and then he misses the shot. One of those classic, where did it go situations. Rather than looking at where it goes, let's instead see where it came from. Watching Oscar, he's still moving a bit as he fires. At quarter speed it's more obvious, and the blur around the crosshair indicates that he hasn't waited long enough. This results in the bullet skimming Nico's vest, landing below his armpit. Even if the gun wasn't 100% accurate, this is certainly an unlucky shot. Honestly, I find it reassuring. Reassuring that it's not just me that CSGO hates. Unlucky, Oscar. But this is why you don't storm a site holding an AWP. Especially not on Nuke. Didn't matter anyway. Mouse still won the round. But only just. The third clip I'm covering takes place in the semi-finals, this time in the first map. It's 14-3 to Cloud9 on Mirage. Yet despite losing both pistol rounds, SK managed to win the next round, and are now desperately trying to win the third. Before he falls, Fallen heroically tosses the bomb to coldzera, who was then left in a 1v2 and with just 12 seconds left on the clock. Unfortunately, he hesitates, and by the time he picks it up, there are just 7 seconds left to plant it. He decides to hide in a corner instead, ensuring his survival, but losing the round and ultimately dooming SK in the first map of the game. The question is, did he have enough time to retrieve and to plant the bomb? Yes he did. In this video here, you can see the latest he could have left it to pick up the bomb and to plant it before the time ran out. But it wasn't exactly an easy decision for him to make. He starts off by running towards the site, probably expecting Fallen to be following close behind. And then when he's left alone, he knows there are members of Cloud9 in A who will shoot him the moment he shows himself. Ultimately, he lost the round the moment he doubled back into cover. Isn't hindsight a wonderful thing? And lastly, that super important round in the grand finals. It's 15-14, with Cloud9 needing to win to push it into overtime. 3 players from FaZe rush bombsite B where Stewie is guarding, all alone. He takes down the first 2, then shoots Rain as he's planting, which makes it 15-15 and leads to overtime. Cloud9 eventually wins the game, thereby winning the whole tournament. But what if? What if Rain hadn't been rudely shot in the face by Stewie? Did he have time to plant before the round ended? I've never actually tested this before, but it turns out that you can still be too late to plant even if it says that there are still 4 seconds left on the clock, as seen here. However, upon recreating Rain's situation, turns out he had more than enough time to plant the bomb, as long as his face remained intact. But even if Stewie had missed the first shot, he would have had time to fire again, though admittedly with limited accuracy. And we all know what happens if you fire too soon. Had he waited to regain decent accuracy, then Rain would have been able to plant. In fact, I'm going to say that had he missed that first shot, then the bomb would have been planted. But then Rain would be shot and it would be left to Karrigan to defend the bomb plant in a 4v1, armed with just a UMP and on 34 HP. He's good, but I don't like his chances here. I think FaZe's fate was sealed. But say Stewie blunders and misses his second shot as well. Maybe because, in a desperate attempt to thwart the bomb plant, he fires before it regains accuracy. Like this. This would have let Rain plant and then given him a decent chance to beat Stewie in the close quarters engagement that followed, as he was equipped with an AK-47. Say he defeated Stewie. It would have then been 2v3. Karrigan could have fallen back to the site, found a rifle, and the 3 remaining CTs would have had to deal with 2 well-equipped and entrenched terrorists. It could have ended very differently, but that is only following a string of unlikely ifs. The last-minute rotate from FaZe was a good idea, but it wasn't to be. Cloud9 won that round. Well done, Cloud9. I made a similar video